Welcome to Powerhouse with a Coach Maker, your weekly engagement into the heart of the nation's political and economic pulsation. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on SSBC television. This is Powerhouse, where realization meets empowerment, just on SSBC television.
And as South Sudan approaches the first election since gaining independence 13 years ago, the country is witnessing a critical moment. The upcoming election in December 2024 holds the promise of furthering the implementation of the revitalized peace agreement and establishing long-term peace process across the nation. The ongoing Tumaini peace talks in Nairobi are also integral to these efforts. With just 4 months remaining until elections that is scheduled for December 2024, various government administrative regions are actively preparing to ensure a smooth and peaceful electoral process. So today we are joined by the Chief Administrator of Ruweng Administrative Area, His Excellency Tiob the Monyluak, or to explore or to discuss the preparations underway in Ruweng Administrative Area. We will explore the measures being taken to guarantee the safety and participation of all citizens in Ruweng Administrative Area and in its history. So as we move in now to join His Excellency Tiob the Monyluak, we are going to discuss the administrative area's preparation ahead of the December 2024 general election and some of the developmental projects he has accomplished so far, since it is 3 months since he was appointed as the new Chief Administrator of Ruweng Administrative Area. Let's hear out from him how he's preparing the administrative area, what measures they are putting in place, and what are some of the achievements he has accomplished within this 90 days period of time. Yes, insight with His Excellency shortly. To proceed with our question, like we have heard from the National Election Commission some month back, that was in June, where he has declared the election date as 22nd of December 2024. So currently, how are you preparing the Ruweng Administrative Area for the upcoming December 2024 general election, particularly with this few months remaining to election date?
Generally, I think it's not a short time because the whole country, all the media houses, the social media houses, and the general public as a whole is on that spirit that by December 22nd, the whole country shall be going for elections, and that is the same everywhere. And Ruweng Administrative Area is no exception. We have a local radio station that has been broadcasting that message, preparing the public for the December 22 elections.
Talking of that radio station that you have in Ruweng Administrative Area, so are you confirming that you've been doing civic education?
We have been talking about elections. We have been preparing the public.
So how are they responding? They are ready for election?
Very much prepared. Ruweng is no exception, since it has been declared that there will be elections in the country by December. Everybody has prepared himself or herself for the exercise. So it is just a matter of time.
So the date is okay with Ruweng Administrative Area?
We think the date is very fine.
Okay.
Because there is ample time from now to the 22nd of December.
So what steps are being taken by your government to facilitate the smooth operation and movement of the Electoral Commission across all the counties in Ruweng Administrative in terms of infrastructure? Because we have just seen the State Election Commission has been formed so far. So what strategies are you putting in place?
We are in contact with the National Elections Commission. We have been asked to nominate a total of 3 persons, which we have done. It is just a matter of time, and hopefully the state level election shall also be formed. We also have been asked to allocate a building to be used as the commission headquarters at the state level, and this we have done. Elections is not done by one sole entity. It's a general exercise where a number of entities participate. So we have the partners to the government of South Sudan that will definitely play a role. We have the community that will also have to play a role. We have the local government that will have to play a role. And all these roles put together are what amount to the general exercise, which is the election itself. So we think we are there.
So do you think that the infrastructure in all the counties is convenience for the election?
This is not going to be the first time for elections exercise to be conducted in the area. In Ruweng administrative area, we have all along carried out elections, and so the ground is prepared for elections, and we have no worry about the existing infrastructure. Yes.
So talking of security being a priority in every election time, so how is your region prioritizing security measures to ensure the safety and stability of Ruweng citizens ahead of this coming election?
The state or the administrative area is very safe. Safe enough to have the elections exercise conducted very smoothly. I know the social media have from time to time talked about insecurity, but this insecurity that is being talked about is mainly cattle rustling, and this is a predominant activity, I think, in all the communities or in all the states where people have cows. It happens in the lakes, it happens in Warap, it happens in Unity State, it also happens in Ruweng administrative area. But the government is maintaining control. So there is security, stability, that is assuring the public and the central authorities that elections, and maybe our partners as well, that elections will be done smoothly, and there is no any issue of concern security-wise.
All right, talking of Ruweng being a safer place for now in terms of security, so does it mean the Ruweng administrative area has conducted disarmament?
We have not conducted disarmament because so far we are not seeing any insecurity being caused by people having arms, and we do not think there is a high prevalence of arms in the hands of civilians that is that amounts to the level of concern. So if there are few rivals, individuals own, they do not amount to a stage where we say we need disarmament, because those few rifles, the few civilians have, do not cause any insecurity so far.
All right. All right, His Excellency, you have talked.
Our people, when you fight with your brother or when you have a fight with a neighbor, our people don't use weapons.
Okay.
They use sticks.
Which is normal.
You hit the person from his head when you are expressing your anger or dissatisfaction.
Yeah.
From that. So I can therefore say our community or our community is not that much violent that you need to fear that before elections kind of a disarmament exercise has to take place, because they might, weapons might be used, or an insecurity might erupt due to having weapons which do not actually exist in a terrifying manner.
We have dwelt on the man-made issues that can be avoided. Now let's look at the natural part of it. We have seen now, as we speak now, the rain season is here in the country, and maybe after December, we never know, it might be raining. So what strategies are you implementing to ensure that all the citizens vote even during rainy season?
Thank you. We have made some preparations for the flooding, because before I went to the state, or before I went to the administrative area, I was called to the National Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, and officially informed that there are confirmed reports that there will be flooding this year, and Ruweng administrative area shall possibly be one of the areas that will be flooded. But it might only be flooded, the way we see it, it might only be flooded in the southern part of it. So we have prepared our communities in the southern part of Ruweng administrative areas to, in case of a high flood, to move northwards or eastwards to towards the highlands. But also we have prepared our local population to anticipate, to prepare itself to receive IDPs who might be displaced from the southern neighboring states of Unity and Jungule. I know the island of Fangak is part of the Sud region, which is very low, and for hundreds of years we have always received people from the lowlands of Fangak and Fangak in Jungule state and Jikanj in Unity state. We have always received them up into our highlands, and they have always been there for a number of years. When flooding would recede in their areas, then they also would go back. So this, should it happen this year, our people are already prepared. We as a government have prepared the population to possibly receive displaced persons from the lowlands in Unity State and Jungule. Not only the civilian population together with their animals, but we have also put some measures in place to protect the wildlife that might also move up to the highlands in Ruweng administrative area.
We are done with the part of election preparation. When we come back after the short break, we will dwell on the developmental part in Ruweng administrative area. Let's take a short break.
Welcome to Powerhouse with a Coach Maker, your weekly engagement into the heart of the nation's political and economic pulsation. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on SSBC television. This is Powerhouse, where realization meets empowerment, just on SSBC television.
Hello dear viewer of SSBC, welcome back from that short break. Like I said earlier, we are here hosting the Chief Administrator of Ruweng Administrative Area, His Excellency Tiob Monyluak, to tell us his preparation for the upcoming election and some of the developmental projects he has accomplished, or the administrative area has accomplished so far. We have dwelt on the election part, preparation, and what you're doing about upcoming election. Now we want to cross to your Ruweng administrative area. We want to know, can you highlight some of the key developmental projects that the Ruweng government has accomplished since?
Well, today is my 90th day since appointment. The developmental projects that we have undertaken, or that we are undertaking at the moment, are also determined by our financial ability. We are a small state with resources but untapped. The only major resource we have in the state or in the administrative area is the oil, and you know oil is a national resource. So we have a limited financial ability, and that limitness determines also the projects that we can undertake. So far we are doing human resource developmental projects. I went to the state, I looked at the situation, I realized that since 1982, our unity province then, as it was called, became independent from the Upper Nile province. And then again in 1994, unity province was promoted and became unity state in 1994. Then in 2015, Ruweng administrative area today became Ruweng state, part of the 32 states that existed in the country at the time. I realized that in this period from 1982 until today, our civil servants did not have a chance to attend any civil service training. And I came to realize that if we will need to have a professional civil service and civil servants delivering professional service, then we needed to train them. And so by July 1, we started a training program. That is to say, we started a training center called Center for Human Resource Training and Development. That center is now doing training, and we started the training with the most senior civil servants. Now, that training is also divided into a number of phases. So phase 1 has started, phase 2 is going to begin, is beginning today, Monday. And we hope in the next 2 weeks we shall have completed phase 1 of the training. We are training the directors general, the deputies, heads of departments. Next phase shall be followed by a training from the base. We shall be training the cleaners, we shall be training messengers, we shall be training front office staff, and then it will also be followed by junior civil servants, starting from clerks, account clerks, and so on. So by December this year, we shall have met in the middle. The senior staff being trained will have come to the middle. The junior staff being trained shall also have gone up, and then we shall meet. By the time these two levels meet, we shall have completed training all our civil servants. And that is one of the most urgent priorities we observed and realized, and so we started with. We also have realized that our health workers have also not had a chance to be trained. So our minister for health is a health scientist. She quickly came to Juba, and here we have developed a curriculum that is based on the Juba Health Sciences Institute. And last week we got the letter of no objection. I mean, we got the letter of clearance to start our Health Sciences Institute. And we shall be starting the training for all our workers, our health workers. And this institute shall open by the 1st of September, just a few days from now. That is another one developmental project. What I can call a bigger one is doing as per the advice of the leader of this country. The president told us that go home, make peace, and do agriculture. we are doing agriculture today. By now, we have tilled over 3,000 fadan, and we have casted, we have some more we have sown 1,000 fadan, and we continue to drop seeds in the second and the third 1,000 fadan. And that is in response to the President's directive that go home and do agriculture. So we are doing agriculture. Number 4 is the inauguration, the completion and inauguration of a Biemnam airstrip. That marks the 3rd operational airstrip in Ruweng administrative area. That airstrip yokes Biemnam with the capital, with the other parts of the south where there are airstrips. And a person from Biemnam for the first time saw a fixed-wing aircraft landing in a Biemnam. And they came, they saw the aeroplane, and then one old man, I remember, commented by saying that this is the first time we are seeing an aeroplane sitting on our land. We've always seen it flying, hovering above us, but never sat here, they said. So the Biemnam airstrip is now operational. We take this opportunity to tell all citizens of South Sudan that they can now fly to Biemnam by air. The coordinates are available and can be obtained from the Civil Aviation Authority. The 5th project that we've undertaken in this short period of time is availing the essential drugs that are badly needed in the state. Previously, our donors would give us medicines, but then it is only the individuals that would bring medicines such as anti-venom, and anti-rabies. But this time, it is us who took the initiative, and we purchased anti-venom and anti-rabies, and we've supplied our hospitals in Ruweng. We do not want donors to come and give us these medicines. We should be able to avail them 24 hours, 7 days a week, 360 days a year in our hospitals for the benefit of our people. We also have stocked what we call a strategic food. This food, we are keeping it for unforeseen occurrences. We do not know what will happen. So we have already stocked some food, and I know my population is asking me, what are you doing with this food? I keep telling them, no, that is none of your concern. Just keep it there. It will not rot. If time comes to eat it, it will be eaten. But for now, it is just being stored. I think these are some of the projects maybe a total of 6 projects we've undertaken. And Allah Karim, we hope to implement some more projects given time ahead.
Those are good developmental projects so far.
Small other.
Yes, you will talk about the ones that you are yet to implement, considering the time that you just came in, 3 months. So for those ones, that is each, let's say it's each 1 month, so far 3 projects so far. Oh, that is good. So talking about agriculture, now you have ventured into it as an administrative area. So what strategies are you putting in place to ensure the produce reach the market at the end of the harvesting time?
We are surrounded by states that do import their food grains. They import the Adura, they import the Adura, the Unga from East Africa. If we are able to produce enough food, first of all, it will be able to suffice the local market. We will also be in a position to sell to the UN agencies that are already importing Dura from as far as the end of the globe for the refugees that we are hosting in our home, in our administrative area. We shall also be able to sell this food to the neighboring states. And that will result into a boom, into an economic boom for the state. That is why we as a government do not want to wait. We said, let's do agriculture. Previously, our government used to give out the tractors for the farmers to use the government tractors. But now I said no. The tractors are government, so it is the government to do farming. And so we are doing farming. Yes.
So far with some of the projects that you have implemented, how are the citizens responding to it, especially the human training that you have put, human resource training, or seeing it is the first of its kind in Ruweng administrative area? How are they responding to it?
They are very much appreciating it. I remember the first day when the first class was conducted, I called about 5 of them who happened to have left the classroom and were now going home. I stopped them and asked them, how is the training? And they said it is very good. Then I asked them, is there any difference? They said, a lot. There is a very big difference between when we entered the class and when we got out of the class. And this is just only the first day in class. So yes, the impact is good, and it is restoring trust and confidence in our civil servants. It is reflecting in a positive way of, even being in a government office and serving and talking to a client who is seeking any service from an officer. Yes.
All right, we have dwelled on the developmental project you are implementing as an administrative area, and I believe you have a lot of them that you have lined up to. So what are some of the projects that are pending in your pending list?
Lo kuti balena yani some fatara tawila if we are written to go on for a longer
yes,
yes, because everything is in the hands of God. By November 1, we want to start producing. We want to start doing gardening, so as to be able to produce massive food in form of fruits and vegetables. Because during rainy season we do Dura plantation. But during dry season, we shall be doing fruits and vegetables. That is what is in my hand, because it is something that I can do, since we have the tractors, we have the fuel, we have all the other inputs that are required. This is a project we will do.
Okay.
We are, with the little resources we have, even before November, we are starting the construction of a mortuary. Because it is very sad. You go there, the person passes away, and there is another person doctors would want to work on. They are just lying up. You put the dead body, and then in the same stretcher, that is where the doctor works on surgery, operation, if that has to be done. So we are going to start, constructing a mortuary. We are also, with the limited resources we have, going to start constructing a prison. Because at times a person is serving, a prison sentence. I've come to realize that the prison authorities would even set free a person who is a criminal who has been convicted and is serving a prison sentence, is let loose and goes back to the community simply because there is no food, or there is no space, or there is nowhere to keep the person. So I am going to start building prisons with the local resources we have. But before that is done, I shall be transporting the convicted persons to Juba to serve in Kobar.
So what is your vision for the future of Ruweng, and how do you plan to build on the progress made so far?
I would want to see Ruweng a better place than how it is now. I would want to see Ruweng having a good number of airstrips. So far, we have a total of 3 that are serviceable, but a 4th one, the one that is supposed to be at the state capital, is not serviceable. I will want to see it operational. If I could have the funds needed, I would support the central government to quickly speed up the completion of the Lekno Biu Road, the Lekno Port and the Lekno Road to Biu, that yokes Biu with Pariang and Yida to the north. That is a very strategic road, and it is a road that can relieve not only Ruweng administrative area or Unity State, but the whole of the country. Because that route will allow us to trade with the north.
How is the education sector in Ruweng?
Yes, again, I also would want to see girls having boarding schools or dormitories where we give them quality education while concentrated in one place for the better results.
Okay.
I also will want to have a technical school in the area. These are not long-term dreams, but these are short-term dreams, because these I am thinking of having them in place by as early as January 2025.
And the capital, where will you get the funding?
The capital, we already have some. We already have schools.
Okay.
We already have schools, we already have senior secondary school, we already have the students. All we need is just being able to have food and set up boardings, yes, dormitories. That is all we will need. And I think they are still within reach. Yes. We will start with 4 schools in 2025, and then with time we should be able to expand the idea. So we'll have 1 school with boarding in Abiemnam. We shall have 3 in Padiang, 1 in an area called Kumagon, or a village called Kumagon, the other one in a place called Labang, and then the 4th one shall be in a place called Kiunga. These are already planned, and it is just a matter of time, because the year has gone and we feel we should start by the beginning of 2025 with these 4 boarding schools.
All right.
Yes.
So we have seen some years back the Ruweng administrative government was actually sending some of the students outside. Was it a scholarship, something like that? So how are you going to ensure this thing is maintained and is also moving?
Yes, it is true. Some students were sent to India and some to Ethiopia. But our strategy, the way we see it, we look at it differently. We've realized, we've analyzed the courses that these students were taken to take, and all of them are either law, economics, or computer science. This is not what our people want. We lack engineering section. Engineering field. We lack people who are working in that field. So we would want to send not people to go and study computer science or computer law or study law or economics. We would best send people to go and do engineering, to do medicines, dentistry, like that. Possibly we should be able to send people to go and specialize in health specializations or in medical specializations that we desperately need, such as gynecologists, Nasbit Aoyun, dentistry, yes, and possibly engineering or maybe petroleum engineering.
Are those courses not expensive?
They are expensive. They are expensive, but these are the courses our government, my government is now thinking of working very hard to get the needed funding, so that by next year we should be able to send even a very few persons from the land to go and study those and acquire that knowledge, so that they come back and give. but not people who are coming back with computer science, because if you give them the computer science knowledge, what are they coming to give our people home? We need people who know who go and study agriculture engineering, so that they come and work home in the field of agriculture. We need people who who go and study medicines, so that they work in the health facilities in our land. Yeah. So that is what we are planning, but I should be able to give you a clear data in 2 months from now.
So how do you evaluate your political capabilities to maintain your seat in the upcoming election?
Maintaining this seat, is something that is determined by more than one factor, maybe 3 major factors. Factor 1 is my acceptability by the people. If I'm acceptable to them, then definitely I may keep that seat. Number 2, I also belong to a political party, and if I am not nominated by the party to contest, then how do you get it? So I have to be nominated by the party. I have to be acceptable by the voters, and I think factor number 3 is my own self-evaluation. I also will want to look at myself and see whether I am looking at myself as having done some positive changes, so that I can aspire to continue. Or if not, if I also evaluate myself and find myself not to have accomplished anything at the time when I should have done, then I also will look at myself as not the right person.
Is this time not so limited to you?
I think I have already served for 3 months. I still have another 3 months. That will make a total of 6 months. And 6 months is enough to evaluate, to do a self-evaluation and see whether I am fit to aspire to continue or not.
What would be your message to the people of Ruweng, citizens who might want to hear about solutions that you are doing to increase levels of humanitarian crisis, since you have just said that there are so many refugees in your place?
My message number 1 would be that we need to continue as a population of Ruweng administrative area with the spirit we have had since the days we inhabited the land. We have always received strangers, treated them well, gave them land, and they lived. When their problems in their homes got over, they always went back peacefully and safe. So I would want my people of Ruweng to treat well, or to continue to treat well the people we have in our land who do not belong to the Ruweng, like the refugees, because we have more refugees in Ruweng administrative area than the indigenous population. We have 102,000 persons from Ruweng administrative area who are the indigenous people, while we have 150,000 refugees. We also are anticipating an influx of our brothers from Unity State and from Jonglei State should the flood continue this year. So that will be my message to my people, that let's treat well.
How are you managing this?
Who seek alleviation of their suffering in our land.
So how are you managing them now, the refugees?
The refugees are happy. So far, we are giving them land.
As a government?
Yes, as a government, we give them land to do their farming. We give them our forests to get firewood for their home chores. We make them, share the limited resources we have, like the schools We have some of them that choose to school from government schools. We also give medical assistance to those who seek treatment in government-run hospitals and health services. We appreciate very much also the UNHCR, other UN agencies like the WFP, and the other international NGOs that are also being supported or funded by both UNICEF, WFP, and mainly UNHCR to carry out humanitarian assistance to the refugees who are living in our home state.
But generally, how is the health situation?
I think the health situation is not bad.
Okay.
I think it is good. This year we received a good stock. With thanks to UNICEF, we received a good stock of medical supplies, and we have distributed them to all the health facilities we have across the administrative area. These medicines are doing good. We are very much appreciative to those donors. Today
marks your 90 days in the office since you are appointed, and this is your first interview on SSBC. Any message that you feel you should tell the public or the authorities?
Some of the projects, I believe, do not need a lot of funding from my end. And I have a faith that if there is something that I'm doing for my people, I can go big. And there always are the hearts that are willing to donate. So I do not need to pay for everything that I do. Some good-hearted people are always there, and I believe they exist, and I believe they will be there to help, even in projects that I will need a lot of money for. Their funding can come from those people of good faith.
TV of SSBC, that is His Excellency Tiob the Monyluak, the Chief Administrator of Ruweng Administrative Area, who has shed light on the preparations ahead of the December general election for the Ruweng Administrative Area, and he has also emphasized a lot on the projects or the developmental projects that he has accomplished so far. Today marks his 90 days in the office, and so far we have seen 3 projects successfully accomplished, and some of them are pending. So he's saying in the next 3 months, some of the priorities or the project he has prioritized should have been implemented. That's it for now. On behalf of the team, I am Akuchma Care. We thank you for joining us. Stay tuned every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.
Welcome to Powerhouse with Coach Maker, your weekly engagement into the heart of the nation's political and economic pulsation. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on SSBC television. This is Powerhouse, where realization meets empowerment, just on SSBC television.